Welcome to Galactic Initiative. I'm your host, Jeff. Before I address the main topic, I want to thank subscribers new and old. YouTube is recommending the channel with increasing frequency every day.
A surprise, to be sure, but a welcome one.
I appreciate the opportunity to share my perspectives on Star Wars with you. I've never openly questioned a successful YouTube creator, until now. The target of my criticism is Eckhart's Ladder, a Star Wars channel with almost 100,000 subscribers. Perhaps my small channel will suffer for my incredulity, but
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Eckhart's Ladder is Disney-friendly. Its reviews of the awful D+ series are at best watered down, and at worst objectively incorrect.
I didn't love Reva in the first episode, but she is a character that has really grown on me. And in this episode, she became, and I'm not joking, one of my favorite recent characters in Star Wars canon.
Favorite recent characters in Star Wars canon.
That said, the host produces interesting content when he focuses on details. Ships, characters, plot points, etc. I respect his knowledge. A few days ago, Eckhart's Ladder published a video titled "It's Time for Star Wars to Grow Up." Link in the description. The host used the rumored What If series for Star Wars to present a straw man fallacy. First, he bemoaned a majority of negative tweets in response to the What If buzz, and he cherry-picked 3 to establish a vulnerable position for his offensive. A straw man fallacy requires such misrepresentation to bypass an opposing argument. I'll address the actual problem with What If in due time. He featured hand-picked, air quotes, evidence to convey the following impression. Unreasonable fans cling to George Lucas's canon. He refuted this fabrication with an argument for expanding storytelling and avoiding undue reverence for canon. Lucas wasn't the auteur, he explained. Star Wars has always been bigger than one person. Sound familiar?
What we understand to be Star Wars, like the idea that that only came from George Lucas, that only George Lucas holds the key for what we understand to be Star Wars is just untrue.
He referenced the expanded universe video games from a certain point of view and other lower canon and non-canon Star Wars products that he loves to raise support for a What If series. The title, "It's Time for Star Wars to Grow Up," suggests evolution. From the dogma of Lucas to
A larger view of the Force.
But don't take my word, listen to Eckhart's Ladder.
Star Wars fans, I love all of you, or at least most of you. The ones who aren't mean to me. Some of your opinions, though, we'll talk about them. So the recent rumor that's been floating around is that Star Wars is about to pull a Marvel and unveil a What If series. Now, I gotta say, I was really surprised to see the fan reaction to this news. I mean, the big tweets, at least, that I saw about Star Wars What If were generally fairly negative. And I'm just going to talk about why I disagree. As Star Wars fans, we are overly tied to the idea of canon. Star Wars is now nearly 50 years old and has moved beyond just the vision of one single person, that being George Lucas. And I see no reason why we have to stifle creativity and stifle storytelling by fitting everything into that one box. It's all made up, just a reminder. In the canon, it's just a fun thing that fans get to enjoy. And one of the responses, well, it is just fanfic. So is everything. George Lucas created Star Wars. George Lucas is no longer creating Star Wars. There's not some magical seed that he passed on to Disney. The idea of fanfic versus official material really just comes down to whether it's monetizable. And generally when it comes to Star Wars, the scope of the project, obviously. There are just so many talented creatives in the space. George Lucas, didn't care because he was going to make his movies and, whatever happened outside of that was fine. But, if you take that approach, he doesn't care about the sequels either. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about the current continuity. And I just think that as fans, we need to be far more open. I think part of the What If scenario that's so fun is that you're also reimagining the original material. It's just really interesting to take that work and change it. See how the butterfly effect works. That's half the fun. The final tweet I put out was, this fake Space Wizard story isn't the same fake as the other fake Space Wizard stories.
My rebuttal. The negative response to What If reflects the willful mismanagement of Lucasfilm since George's departure. It does not reflect the potential of What If as an idea, but rather the potential of What If as a production in the wrong hands. Look no further than Marvel's What If, a horrible virtue-signaling mess that only shills recommended to court the mouse's favor.
Search your feelings, you know it to be true.
Furthermore, Lucas's canon is the only wall, albeit battered and leaking, that protects fans from the full agenda of Kathleen Kennedy's bunch. You see, fans don't oppose Star Wars films and series. They don't oppose the what-if concept. They don't oppose creators beyond George Lucas. They oppose bad Star Wars films and series, which, of late, describes all Lucasfilm releases, with the exception of Andor. They oppose What If, written and directed by ignorant, ungrateful, narcissistic, allegedly put upon, fan-bashing, self-styled activists, the only people Kathleen Kennedy hires nowadays. Fans love Lucas's canon. The contention from Eckhart's ladder that it limits storytelling is absurd. George left most of his galaxy to the imagination, and he approved and licensed more creative opportunities than Disney, who excommunicated the entire EU, not George. Ironically, Kennedy's untalented hires keep shrinking the galaxy because they lack creative vision. Rey Skywalker, Ben Solo, somehow Palpatine returned. Who exactly is limiting storytelling? The host of Eckhart's Ladder sidestepped these issues using a straw man fallacy instead of acknowledging the truth. After the sequels, most fans were angry. Now, after the D+ debacles, including The Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, The Bad Batch, Visions Season 2, Mando Season 3, and Ahsoka, many fans prefer silence to subversion. Thor Skywalker, a channel with almost 200,000 subscribers, conducted a poll 2 weeks ago. The question: what Star Wars show are you most looking forward to in 2024? 45% of respondents chose not looking forward to any of these, given Lucasfilm's upcoming releases. The Acolyte, Skeleton Crew, The Bad Batch Season 3, and Tales of the Jedi Season 2. Roughly 9,000 votes for apathy from a total of 20,000 votes. Star Wars fans have grown up. They've recognized the worst leaders in entertainment at the head of their beloved IP. What's left of George Lucas's canon is the only barrier to Kathleen Kennedy's goal of remaking Star Wars in her own image. Unfortunately, What If would be progress for her. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Check out Galactic Initiative for honest perspectives on Star Wars.
Galactic Initiative is not authorized or endorsed by Lucasfilm Limited. The name Star Wars and all related materials are registered trademarks of Lucasfilm Limited, a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company, all rights reserved. Galactic Initiative is a registered trademark, and other product and company names are trademarks of their respective holders. Use does not imply affiliation or endorsement.